Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. My name is Maria, or it's MJ here on YouTube. If it's your first time stumbling across my channel, on this side of YouTube we discuss a lot about fragrances, so if that's something that interests you, then please consider subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I'm sure as you guys saw by the title, in today's video we're going to be reviewing a few fragrances that were sent to me. Hold on, that's a cute thumbnail. These were some fragrances that were sent to me by the house of Roja Parfums, and I am super excited to be sharing them with you guys. This video is not sponsored. They just sent the products and they were very first of all, super funny. The person that I was dealing with was super cool. I literally felt like I was talking to my friend. I'm gonna share before I start the whole story of how this even came to be. So he contacts me and he introduces the brand, and of course, you know, I already knew about the brand because they're very popular here on YouTube. And he basically tells me that they can send me some products, of course, for a very honest review. He literally just wants me to be completely honest, unbiased, and say whatever is on my mind. I'm like, well, you came to the right person, let me tell you that. And then he asked me what is my taste in fragrance, and I made that man's life miserable in the sense of I was not very explicit in telling him what I like. I told him essentially I'm all over the place. I like a little bit of everything. The only thing that I ask is for all my fragrances to have a certain component, and that is to be super feminine and super sexy. All my fragrances have to have that sort of captivating quality about them. And then I go ahead like a whole fragrance freak and I discuss the fragrances that I enjoy. So I'm like, I love Delina, I love Tom Ford Noir Parfum, I love Alien, I love Max Aquatic. And if you know about fragrances, you know that all those fragrances are in completely different categories, different components. So I'm like, I made this man's life like a living hell. He's like, girl, you like everything. Like, what do you not like? So all in all, he goes, I know exactly what to do. And then he just asked for my information. He says that he's gonna send me some stuff. So I'm like, point is, I did not pick what I wanted. It was all a surprise. So it was even more exciting for me because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna get in the mail, and I'm super excited to sniff it all. And I sure did. And I gave them each their wear test, some more than others, but I'll be discussing that as I go along with the video. So let's start off in no particular order. They're all in their boxes. I'm only gonna show you the packaging for one of them, and I'll just start off with the first one. I don't even know which one is the first one, but we'll go along. So it seems that this one is Danger. I think that's the one that I least like. So it opens like so. It has a sliding box. There you go. For the price tag, of course, you're gonna get something very bougie. It's in like a little satin bed right there. So that's how it looks, and that's Danger. I'm sure you guys have seen all these bottles, but I feel like I still have the responsibility to show you guys regardless. One thing that I did notice that I haven't really seen in other videos show is it has like a signature here, which I thought that was pretty cool. I find really the small things to be the most intriguing. So overall, all these perfumes are Essence de Parfum concentration, but they essentially are supposed to perform as EDP. Do they perform as EDP? I'll be discussing throughout the video because I feel like some do, some don't, and I'll say which ones do and don't. But this is the first one, and as I said, this is my least favorite one. This one, should I get a paper? I'm all over the place. I'm never like, welcome to my channel. For this video, I'm actually not gonna be reading notes. I'm just gonna put them on screen for you guys. As I said, I already tested them out, so I have a pretty complete opinion of how I feel about them. I'll just put the notes on screen as I always do anyways. So that's Danger, and this was definitely my least favorite one. What I will say is all of these except for one have a powdery component. And I should have expected, because I did tell him I love really feminine and sexy fragrances. However, me personally, I don't consider powder to be a sexy component. I consider powder to be actually more of a mature component and a feminine component. So as soon as I smelled Danger, what I instantly got was a Chanel vibe, a Chanel DNA, a Chanel vein, around that realm of fragrances, and specifically Chanel No. 5. That is not a fragrance that I like at all. It has a pissy quality. I can't say that I will literally be dying wearing Chanel No. 5, but it's definitely not one of my favorites, and it's not a fragrance that I would personally buy and spend my money on. So Danger reminds me definitely like Chanel number 5. However, less harsh, less screechy. It doesn't have that pissy quality, but the powder in this is very prominent. It definitely has that powdery vintage quality about it. Very mature. If you enjoy very floral powdery fragrances, I think you would enjoy this. Or if you like Chanel number 5, you just literally do not like that pissy quality, I think you would enjoy this because it literally reminds me of Chanel number 5. However, for me personally, I do not like it. It is not for me, and I just don't like it. So this is a fragrance that I will definitely actually be gifting to my aunt. That is her signature smell, Chanel number 5, or a signature perfume, I should say. And I feel like she would definitely enjoy this. And when I tell her that it's a super bougie fragrance, she's gonna be like, thank you so much. Okay, so the second one that I have here, it looks like it is Scandal. And I think this was my favorite. Yeah, this was my favorite out of the ones that I tried. And this is the one that I actually wore 3 times. So that should say something. Scandal to me was the most unique. Oh, let me show you guys the mist. Because this is not a spray, honey. This is a mist. Look at that. Well, I don't know if you guys can actually see it on screen. I hope you guys do, because that's just about like $100 worth of sprays right there. This is the one that I enjoy the most. However, I'm gonna get to the chase and just get to the point. Out of all of these, this is the one for me personally that had the best performance along with Danger. But like I said, I didn't like Danger. Best performing, not top performing. I don't consider any of these fragrances to be crazy good performance, and I find that a deal breaker. I started work at 8. I came to lunch at 1:30, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So about 5 hours and a half it lasted. This was my favorite because this was the most unique out of all of them. This opens up with a green, like heady floral. You definitely have to like floral fragrances if you are a gourmand lover. None of the ones that I discussed I think you would enjoy. These are very feminine perfumes, and they are definitely leaning on the mature end of fragrances. I don't consider any of these, despite the name, to be sexy. Actually, I consider them to be more confident, mature leaning fragrances. So this one opens up green and floral, and it has to me reminiscence, not that they smell alike, but that green quality reminds me of Angelique Noir, like that heady green, almost crisp, like floral. That's what I get, and I really like that. I find green fragrances, I've been really enjoying them. I find them to just have a bite and just very enticing and mysterious. So I really enjoy that green aspect of it. So it opens up green, but the dry down though, the dry down I think is absolutely beautiful. It's super feminine, and it reminds me of Narciso Poudre. I got a sample from a subby friend, and I loved, like I ran through the sample. It smelled so good. Narciso Poudre is a creamy, delicious vanillic musk. I don't even know if it has vanilla in it, but to me, that fragrance is super creamy. It's just a delicious like creamy musk. And it's super simple, but it's super feminine and very confident. I did put it on this arm today, and for some reason today it is a lot lighter than it usually is. Like I wore this one to work, I want to say 2 or 3 days ago, and I enjoyed it the whole way there. But I did have a sweater, and I noticed that this is one that I enjoy like when I want to be cozy and feminine. And maybe because this is on skin, and it just, for some reason, I feel like it performs better and it has a different change when it's on clothes rather than on skin. Like on skin, it's kind of just meh. But on that sweater that I had at work, it just smelled so creamy and so delicious. However, I do not think that it's worth the price tag. But out of the ones that I have, this is the one that I'm going to be keeping because it has 2 fragrances that I really enjoy and I don't have in my collection. So I feel like I can get those fragrances in one. All right, the next one that I got here, I was super excited because I think this is one of the popular ones, and it seems that a lot of people like, and this is Elixir. This is actually my favorite bottle. I prefer this bottle over the purple bottle. I think this is stunning. Look at me, we love that. This is so beautiful, super pretty, super bougie. Like this just looks beautiful like on a nightstand. I will say I was not wowed by this one actually at all. I think that the opening smells better than the dry down. This is the one that I was actually least impressed with. The opening opens up very fresh and slightly green, I want to say, as well. And it's a different take on a fruity floral. The fruits in here are not jammy, they're not super sweet. It just has a slight bit of fruitiness. I would actually say that it's more of a tarty fruitiness. I think there's like apricot or something. It would definitely be more of a green fruit though. Like when the apricot is green, not super ripe and sweet. But this one falls so flat for me. This one to me was a modern take on a powdery fragrance, but it still had an underlying vintage quality to it because it still smelled like baby powder. This one was slightly sweet, not overly sweet at all, but it was definitely less powdery pungent than Danger was. Like I said, Danger to me was Chanel No. 5 vibe, super vintage, super old, super mature, etc. And this one was more of a light, transparent, effervescent Chanel No. 5. So it still had that powdery aspect to it, and I found it kind of generic, not gonna lie. It just didn't have any wow factor to me, other than the opening, and the opening is just literally the opening. After that, it just felt flat to me. Feminine, powdery, airy, and performance was not great at all. This was definitely leaning more skin scent than anything. The realm of fragrances that it kind of reminded me of, was Gucci Guilty, but I actually find Gucci Guilty better. First of all, Gucci Guilty is an EDT and it performs as an EDP, and Gucci Guilty has that sexy quality. I do not find this fragrance sexy at all. I just find it very dainty, proper, and feminine. Gucci Guilty has a feminine, confident, sexy vibe because it smells like, that one is powdery, but it has a sexy spiciness that I love. And this one just fell flat for me. I was not very impressed. I really wasn't. All right, last one is Enigma, and I think this was the best smelling one actually. I applied this on, okay, if you want to come out. Do you not want to come out? Damn, girl, she didn't want to come out. All right, so Enigma, I applied it on this arm and I already don't smell it, so that should tell you something. This is the one that smelled the best. This is the sweetest one out of all the ones that I mentioned. This is the one that I think actually has powder as a top component on Fragrantica, and this is the one that I found the least powdery, ironically. I don't remember the notes of this one, but smelling wise, this one was my favorite. However, very poor performing. I applied this on my arm before turning on the camera. I had been talking for 22 minutes and I couldn't smell it, as you guys saw. So very poor performing, and I think that's just unfortunately unacceptable. I'll keep you guys posted, but on my skin it is very low performing, so that goes over there. Now that's pretty much it. The only one that I'm going to be keeping is Scandal, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And the others I'm honestly just gonna give away either to friends and family, and if they decide that they don't want them, then I'll do a giveaway on YouTube. But Scandal is the only one that I'm going to be keeping. So that is my honest review and thoughts on these fragrances, not the house completely because I have not tried other fragrances from them, but specifically at least this line. I mean, I had 4 and I think that's pretty just of enough fragrances from this line specifically to have my full thoughts on them, and I just don't think that they're really worth the price. That's about it. If you guys are not subscribed already, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please comment down below your thoughts, comments, and concerns as always. I hope you guys have a beautiful and wonderful and blessed day. I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye guys.